we got married, I think there was this understanding that her husband would be like a spiritual leader in her household. And I wasn't.
I think that unknowingly, I had these expectations, and I didn't realize it at first. And I was very disappointed that he did not turn out to be this person that I had imagined in my head. Also, me thinking that I knew God just because I had been grown up in church, and I really didn't. I had no clue who he was, and I was looking to him to be the stable one to lead us, but I was not stable. So I wanted him to be the one so that I could become stable.
It initially began when I joined the Men's Freedom Group. I was understanding different principles about the Bible, things that were kind of, I'm more of a practical thinker, so things that were more practical, and I could kind of like use it in a practical sense. As we were talking more and more, I thought, you know what, I'd like a sign from God, and like a firm sign, not just like a twinkle or like, oh, that flower looks pretty, that must be God. So the following week, me and Phedra took a trip to Miami.
We go to Miami. We weren't supposed to go to Miami. We had told my friend no, we weren't gonna go to the wedding. She pretty much begged me, and so I was like, we have to go. We haven't seen them in 10 years. We go. We get there. We had a great time at the wedding. We get back to my friend's parents' house. We go to bed. I know for me, there was a point in time where I felt like something was happening to me. I thought I was having a panic attack because I'm a therapist, so that's where my mind goes. It was like, okay, obviously I'm having a panic attack. Just get up and go get some water, deep breathe. I'm going through all the steps that I would take a client through. I'm either dying or I'm about to be clinically insane. This is what I tell him. And I tell him, I don't know where this is from. I feel like God is telling me to tell you this is for you. Had no idea about this whole sign thing at all, by the way. Right after I told him this is for you, I think I passed out.
Yeah, you passed out. And then I like reached out and I kind of like braced her fall a little bit.
So things were happening to me that I'm unaware of. And it was 100% a demonic attack. I now know that like, you cannot be possessed if you have the Holy Spirit, because He lives in me. And so there was a spiritual warfare, like sort of battle going on.
We like go through prayer, and at one point we called the paramedics, and
that was after 2 hours, I think.
Yeah, and then they're just like, we think she's having a psychotic breakdown. And I'm like, yeah, no, Phaedra's pretty strong. She's not one to have a psychotic breakdown. They're like, yeah, we can take her to, and then they said something, it was, I guess, the Miami equivalent of like Lakeview. And they're like, yeah, you just have to sign off. And I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. And then I was like, well, we're gonna let her lay down and see what happens. And she laid down for about 2 hours. While she's laying down, I had called her mom, and I had also called Pastor Brad. He called me back, and while Phedra was laying down, he told me to do all this stuff, like opening the window, reading some scriptures, specific scriptures, and then like calling some of the men from the Freedom Group. When Phedra woke up, she opened her eyes, and I was like, say Jesus. And she's like, Jesus.
Why? No, I said why.
Yeah,
I was like,
she did
why?
say
what are
why.
you talking about? And he was like, just say it. And I was like, what? She's like, just say Jesus. And I said, Jesus. And he was like, oh, okay, we'll be fine.
After Miami, like after that whole thing happened, I was like, okay, well, I've been shown, so I think it kind of accelerated my walk with God.
Man, everything changed. Like it shifted the way we parent, the way we are with one another. A lot of this has just been this intrinsic, like, Holy Spirit change. The things that maybe you prayed for but had given up on, and that's a really cool thing to be able to see God at work. It was like God was telling me to let go of Patrick so he could get a hold of him, and it's like, oh, okay, when I actually let God be God, things happen.
How you know better?
And we're back.